gosh, it's really nice to be here talking about the postures. Michele, right, a teacher here, owner of Bikram Yoga, San Jose, and with Matt and Sarah, and we're going to start out talking about pranayama, standing deep breathing. Oh my gosh, what a way for a new student to start with something that is so...
The most complicated thing.
That we do.
Yes.
Right?
The most complicated.
So you almost feel like, oh my God, you just beg them, like, get through this. Honestly, it's not that hard the rest of class, right? Right? Because it's like, you can tell in their eyes that they're going, oh my gosh. Like first impression, set the tone. So, oh my gosh, if it's this hard.
But it's got the two most difficult things in the class. Standing up straight and breathing.
Yeah,
the two hardest things in the whole class.
Yeah,
right there.
Right. And I'm sure they're not even thinking about that. They're like, so, but we know, right, that it can give them the biggest sense of confidence, right, too, when they figure it out. Also, too, I think for me, when I first started Bikram Yoga, there was something proud about pranayama, standing deep breathing. For me, it was like I was learning a breathing technique. You know, I'd never learned a breathing technique, right? And to be able to feel my lungs on an inhale and feel my lungs on an exhale, you know, right away you start building that mind-body connection, because we don't think about breathing.
Yes.
We don't think about it at all, and yet we do it 100,000 times a day.
Interesting thing, of course, that breathing, you can think about and control it, and you can not think about it, and it's the only function which is involuntary and voluntary. Consequently, its role as the connection between the mind-body structure.
Right. And right when we peel away the onion, right, isn't that what we are? Like breath, you know? Yeah.
I mean, for me, it was always what I liked about it is that I could walk into the room and it didn't matter what state my mind was in. I could be coming straight from work and my head could be all like busy and dizzy, or maybe I'm frustrated or annoyed or something. And then I go in there and I just have this fairly simply repetitive thing that I have to do with breathing, where I'm just kind of left to my own devices to just get on with it. And then, you know, 8 minutes later, my brain is calmer than it was, and I'm sort of left a degree of that gunk behind.
Right.
Now I'm ready for the rest of the class.
Isn't that a little bit of the riddle, in a way, where Bikram right away gets you into something where it's like that repetition, the staccato, 1, 2, 3, right? And it tells that monkey mind, we're going to put you over there on the shelf, right? And it gets you zoned in on, you know, the inhalation, the exhalation. You can see it in the students' eyes, right? When you're starting class, that they're kind of taking their world and now bringing it in, right? Where they just, it's between, you know, I rely on it, like you're saying, right?
Concentrate, meditate.
Yeah, right, Sarah? I mean, those are in the, you know, it's in the dialogue, right? Concentrate, meditate. So what do you guys think, like, is the most common sort of struggle that a new student, right? Because it is complex, not necessarily complicated. There's some pieces to it that if you kind of just understood some of these corrections, it could probably help you right away.
Keeping the hands touching the chin, for sure. Not wandering around and coming off. Always the hands touching the chin like they're glued.
Right. You see that a lot, right? Where they're, you know, inhaling, and then when they exhale, it comes off, or even on the inhale, or it moves around, it's loosey-goosey, right? You know, I think that's the first time you start to realize that the dialogue is literal.
Yes.
We don't mean it halfway. It's like, like the glue. It's like the glue.
No bunch of poetry.
Right.
I think standing up straight, and just the act of standing up straight and maintaining that whilst you're moving your head and your arms. So your head and your arms are synchronized, but your body's not moving. So that tendency where people, especially in exhale, they tend to do.
Oh yeah. Right.
You know, that sense that the whole body is bending. Often because they're trying to lift their elbows up rather than just keep them and bring them forward.
Only the arms and head move. Only the arms and head move.
And then, you know, it takes a while too. That's why you got to keep doing the class, because, you know, it's the repetition that you finally hear Sarah saying, only the arms and head move. Right? Like, you don't realize it too. And you emphasize that a lot, Matt, where it's like, and it's in the dialogue, chest up. There's your, keep your chest up, your spine straight.
Yes.
So knuckles against the chin, right? Like keeping the body straight. And I think, right, the inhale through the nose and the exhale through the mouth.
All the time through the throat.
All the time
Yes.
through the throat. We're going to demonstrate that because you're like, what? What is that?
Yes.
What does that mean?
Yes.
And then the other one, right, is this the way the technique of the arms, right? Like what's a common thing that we see with the arms? Like we'll see, you can see me, the elbows go up, right? And then knuckles against the chin. You can see the elbows go back. And then the way it works is you want to bring the head down and the elbows up, but often you see people go down and then back up again, back, close, and then down, right? Where it's like you're swimming.
Yes. And it takes a lot of attention, right? It takes attention and concentration to move the arms and head together.
Yeah.
That does contribute to the meditation. It also contributes to the effectiveness of the breathing. And the neck feels better when you do it. When you start moving things around separately, you get a lot of pushing in the wrong times and too much,
I think also for beginners, because the arm and head movement gets confusing for a lot of beginners, then their attention focuses on moving the head and arms, not on breathing. And first and foremost, this is an exercise in breathing.
By the way, I'm not breathing, right? I'm just moving my arms in my head and I'm forgetting to breathe. And the whole thing, the arms are intended for you to help open your chest and rib cage, right? And then the arms move forward to help you close the rib cage to exhale more, right? It's their tools to help the maximum expansion capacity, right?
And then speaking of breathing, a funny one, I actually don't see this much anymore, but you were talking about the knuckles, the thumbs, all 10 fingers interlocked, especially, they're going to come apart a little bit at the end of the exhale. Not strangling yourself with your other thumbs as you go.
You see that with people. 10 fingers, guys. It's literally 10 fingers.
I think also the depth of the breathing. So again, if you're overcoming moving the arms and synchronizing them, you've overcome keeping the spine straight. You've remembered that it's about breathing and it's not about just waggling your arms and moving your head. Then I think the next challenge you see, and perhaps with a student that's been doing a little while, is that they've got those basics in place, but they're still not breathing deeply.
Yeah.
And to breathe deeply is to inhale until you feel like your lungs are full.
Yeah.
And keep inhaling.
Right.
So that, we all breathe shallow. I mean, most modern humans, when we're just about our daily lives, we're breathing shallow. Yeah. So the moment we hit any kind of resistance as we inhale, we start exhaling. Yeah. And so we never fill our lungs up fully. Because we always stop when we meet the resistance. So then, in the pranayama, getting to the point where people say, okay, that's part full. That's a little bit more full.
Yeah.
Now we're getting there.
Now stay there. You see how he's doing that, you guys too. He's doing it because his stomach is in. Right? The more you use your stomach, right, the more you can use your
But also, that recognition that it's inevitable that your chest is going to move.
Yeah.
If you hold your stomach in and you try and really try and inhale, there's an inevitability to this. And when I first started, my rib cage was rigid. I mean, it was just, you could hit it and it was like a drum. It was so rigid. Yeah. And so early on, I would get discomfort, like pain sensation in between the ribs, and occasionally I'd hear the ribs cracking, the joints of the ribs cracking as I was opening out. But boy, it was relieving to get past that hurdle of starting to bring back mobility into the rib cage.
Matt, and what's interesting is because I know Matt, he had smoked 14 years, and you
longer,
even longer.
20 years.
And then you dived right into a yoga practice, right? I'm sure your lungs were talking to you, but right? And look at you now, right? So if you're starting and you've smoked, don't worry, right? He's a living testimonial right there, But you bring up a good point, because I think too that a couple things that come to mind with that. When you first start breathing, you can feel overwhelmed, right? You're all of a sudden, it's like you're getting a blast of oxygen to your brain, and you can feel a little bit dizzy. Right, exactly, right? And we have that fear factor when the point is like, no, you want to hit that threshold. That's good.
And also
right?
exhale all the way out.
And exhale all the
Yeah.
way out, right? And that's, that's a big theme with Bikram Yoga, is we're always asking you to kind of push the envelope, push the boundary a little bit, to get uncomfortable. That's the big theme in this class overall,
Absolutely.
right? And it starts right away with pranayama, standing deep breathing. It's interesting, there's that famous breath book, right? And I didn't read the whole thing, I did listen to the NPR on it. It's Peter, I forget his last name. At any rate, the point is that what it boiled down to is the best way to breathe at the end of the book and at the end of the NPR was 6 counts in and 6 counts out.
Yes.
Right? It does so much for your mind, your mood, your blood sugar level, right? Your immune system. So that was good to hear because, learning how to breathe will help your overall health, period. End of sentence. Yeah. So why don't we demonstrate, how to do it wrong and how to do it right? Yeah? All right, pranayama, standing deep breathing. So Sarah's going to demonstrate some of the ways that are wrong, and then I will try to correct so you can see how to fix something that maybe you're doing that isn't quite right. So go ahead and inhale through the nose, stretching your elbows up nice and high. Oop, you can see that she's sniffing in. All right, now exhale all the air out. Her knuckles are not against the chin. She's flipping up towards the ceiling and her elbows are not coming together. Okay, bring your arms down by your side. All right, so first of all, right, that's so common, Sarah, right, where you're sniffing in and you're gonna faint, right? So you wanna take the air in through the nose, but use the throat, and boy, oh boy, Sarah has it really, you do it really good against the throat, and then she'll keep the knuckles against the chin. So this is the right way. Go. Inhale through the nose. Using her throat, look at that, hold here, knuckles against the chin, and exhale. Oh man. Sounds like the ocean. Elbows come together, elbows touch. Do it again. Inhale, head down. Can you guys hear that? Chin to knuckles, elbows up, chest up, spine is straight. Good. And then exhale, correct way. Knuckles glued to the chin, and your elbows are coming forward, away from the chest. Head goes back, keep the spine straight, stomach in, elbows come together when the lungs are empty, and then the arms down by your side. So we covered knuckles glued to the chin, whole time, using the throat, inhaling through the nose, exhaling through the mouth, no back bending, keeping the spine nice and straight, and right, the elbows high and the elbows forward. I think that covered pretty much all of the no-nos.
It only took me about 10 years to get it all.
Yeah, right, no pressure.
So show us a common thing we see in the room where people bend backwards during the exhale. So inhale, push the chin down the knuckles, lift the elbows up, inhale, fill the lungs all the way up. Exhale, head, push the chin back, stretch the elbows forward. Slowly exhale. And relax for a second. So hopefully you could see that as Sarah was exhaling, she was starting to excessively lift the elbows up. So instead of just exhale, like inhale, and then exhale, stretch the elbows forward, there was this to lift the elbows up. So you want to show it one more time. Do it again with the back bend. So inhale. Exhale, push the chin down. And so Sarah's trying too hard to lift the elbows. This is the problem. There is no instruction to lift the elbows in the dialogue, but lifting the elbows causes you to back bend. Now, relax, and then do it again properly this time. So there's no lifting of the elbows. Once the elbows are up on the inhale, so inhale, lift the elbows up. Once the elbows are up, they're up, they stay up. Exhale, push the chin back, and stretch the elbows forward. So there's only stretching them forward. They may drop a little bit. That depends on your own personal mobility, but you're just stretching them forward to help you exhale all the air out of the lungs. There we go. So only the head and the arms are moving. The rest of the body's staying completely upright like a statue throughout the whole breathing exercise.
If you have any doubt, take my class. I keep shouting it. Only the arms and head move. No backward bending. You get it. It's like
Good.
Awesome.